Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Dee again, and welcome to The Interstate with Dee. Today is Saturday, May 24th, 2025. Welcome back to our trip on the Interstate. What we do here is present news from the state level that will end up having national importance later, or news that made it into the national news cycle but was overshadowed. Then we go over some questions from y'all. On this date, May 24th in 1844, the first telegraph message was sent by Samuel Morse. It read, "What hath God wrought?" And yes, Samuel Morse, like Morse code. We're starting off with measles, which is now up to more than 1,024 confirmed cases by the latest CDC numbers. The numbers are still expected to grow. Reporting is also starting to surface, saying that the government cuts are taking their toll and that information about illness spread is lagging. Okay, and on to the news. Alabama's lieutenant governor has declined to run for governor, which means most people are now expecting Senator Tuberville to run. California plans on suing the federal government over an electric vehicle rule reversal. A number of Connecticut teachers were arrested after rallying for education funding. In Delaware, thousands of chicks that survived being abandoned in a postal truck have been adopted by local families and farms. The Postal Service is investigating the situation. Kentucky is set to be hit hard by the Trump agenda. A number of Republicans are speaking out against Trump's policies, and that's causing a lot of tension between Republicans in the state and those in D.C. Former Secretary of Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries has reportedly been indicted for bribery and wire fraud. In Massachusetts, the Trump administration has barred Harvard from accepting international students. That's right. The internationally renowned university, central to America's academic standing in the world, can no longer accept international students. In Mississippi, people hit by tornadoes await assistance from FEMA as it is being overhauled and cut by the Trump administration. Nevada Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen pushed the No Tax on Tips bill through the Senate via unanimous consent. It wasn't really expected to fly through like this. There are a lot of concerns from tipped employees over it, particularly those who may underreport. The concern is that the tax break only lasts a couple of years. North Dakota's governor vetoed $35 million for the state's housing budget by accident. He apparently meant to veto a $150,000 grant. I'm not really sure how they're going to clear that up. It doesn't look like North Dakota has a procedure for a whoopsie veto. Ohio is hosting a NATO assembly on the anniversary of the Dayton Peace Accords. Oklahoma will not be able to direct public funding to what would have been the nation's first religious charter school. The Supreme Court tied, which left the lower court ruling in place. The Oregon House rejected a bill aimed at stopping homeless people from camping on public lands. At CIA headquarters in Virginia, officers reportedly opened fire on a woman at the gates. At time of recording, there are conflicting reports about her crashing into the gates. The woman was reportedly taken into custody. Elsewhere in Virginia, Republicans are worrying about their pro-Trump candidate for governor as the state swings against Trump. In Washington state, people wanting to buy a firearm after May 1st, 2027 will need a state permit requiring training and some state fees. This is heading to the Supreme Court. West Virginia is asking the federal government for permission to bar SNAP funds being spent on things like soda. And here's your weird state fact for this week. In California, there's a time traveler's market. Sitting on Sunset Boulevard is Time Travel Mart. I've been working on my own time travel device, but I realized there was no hurry to get it done. Okay, so moving on to the question and answer portion of the show. Question number 1. Is Mercedes building a headquarters in Georgia proof that Trump's policies are forcing companies to move to the U.S.? My brother keeps saying that's what's happening, and it's because of the tariffs. No. I'm pretty sure Trump didn't impose tariffs against Michigan. That's where the jobs are moving from. The move is more the result of Governor Kemp's pro-corporate policies. I'm not exactly a fan of catering to corporations, but it does make them move to the state. Question number 2. Hi there. I'm just wondering if you know how we should get important weather alerts if the current government is dismantling NOAA/NWS. I have an emergency app on my phone, as well as a weather app. Don't those run off of information from the NWS? Do weather radios also use that information? Are those apps, weather radio, reliable if they're not getting up-to-date information from the NWS? I live in North Illinois, and tornado season is upon us, so I'm anxious about whether we'll get information if extreme weather is on our way. So, most free services use National Weather Service information. If it goes, I'm not really sure what happens. We've talked about it and looked into it, and it should be very unlikely. The federal government's weather efforts sprang out of military necessity. So we would hope that the DoD uses would keep the administration from cutting it. But with the way everything is going, we've been looking into other options, just in case. Most of the information can be found in other places, except for tornado forecasting. If you have a good, all-encompassing resource, drop it below, or send it to us at questionforbell@gmail.com. Or if you just know of a university program or something that is running tornado forecasting that doesn't use NWS info, we'd like to know that too. Okay, that looks like it. We'll see you next week for another trip. Y'all have a good day.